Hey guys, it's Amy and Brian from Colorado Mountain Living. This is our second video installment for our concrete countertops. So in this video we're going to show you how to do the concrete pour.
How not to do it.
And how not to do the concrete pour. We made a couple of mistakes or had a couple of fumbles during our adventure doing this. This is sort of like an array of our tools that we used.
Yeah. Oh, and a shovel.
Yeah, and a shovel, right? So we've got Brian's 100-year-old cement mixer that was passed down through his family. Still running.
Cast iron.
Cast iron, yeah. Still need a good wheelbarrow to mix your cement in, concrete.
Probably dump it down into it.
Yeah, dump it in there. We didn't pour directly into the forms. No way, sir. We had to shovel it in, so
Yep.
much more gentle that way.
Yes.
And then we have a secret tool.
So, sander.
Palm sander.
We use this as a vibrator, so it works really well. So you can just, and you'll see in the video, we just kind of put it on the side here and it knocks it.
Yeah.
That's way better than renting a concrete vibrator.
Yeah, and make sure you have an extra one, okay? Because you'll see what happened to ours earlier.
Yep.
But yeah, using a trowel. But how many bags of cement did we end up going through?
We did 5, the 80-pound bags, and then a half of a 50-pound bag.
And that was for the 3 sections of the countertop. Right. So in this video, we're going to show you the last couple steps of prepping the surfaces using the car wax method and actually adding in some detail. So we've got some artistic detail that we're putting in some texture and some embedding some stones into the surface of the countertop, and then the actual concrete pour. And then our follow-up video, what we'll have to do in a few days because it's got to set up.
Yeah, so we won't demold it until the weekend.
Yeah.
And that'll be the next video, the demolding and the surface prep.
Yep. So our last video will be like the prepping of the surface and the install, I guess, and the final look. Yeah, the staining and all of that. So we're going to do some surface treatments. Anyway, so hope you guys get a kick out of this second installment of the concrete countertops. We're kind of wearing some extra layers because it's freezing right now. A huge thunderstorm just went through. Thank God we were doing our work inside.
It was 72 degrees this morning when I ran out to the store, and now it's 45 degrees.
Yeah, it's probably like, with the wind chill, it's like 45. It's pretty chilly. Anyway, so hope you guys enjoy.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm leveling the form. The concrete doesn't slide to one end.
And you can do them all at once.
Yep.
Like this.
Yep. So, unfortunately, the floor wasn't level, so I had to shim it up.
Cool. You got room for that little one?
Yeah, I got a couple more beams there.
Okay.
Put over here.
Oh, I see your little shims. Getting ready. Hope it's not dried out.
Perfect. The sponge is dried out.
It's like a thin little layer.
Yeah. Well, I'll put multiple. I'll probably put 3 or 4 layers.
Why, does it dry in between or something?
Yeah.
Oh.
Have to rub it.
What you doing there?
Putting some mold leaves into the mold. You can have some nice decoration.
The leaves are pretty fresh right about now. Just barely had the leaves pop out.
I had to get these almost all the way down at the end of the Cold Creek thing.
Oh. So after the countertops are demolded, the leaves will still be there. In essence, we can kind of scrape them out, and they should leave an impression of the aspen leaf behind in the concrete. So we'll be excited to see how that turns out. And then one more detail Brian decided to add. He was thinking about this before. He had purchased these tumbled quartz crystals, and so he's spraying down a little bit of layer of that spray adhesive, and he's going to be sprinkling these quartz crystals into the countertop for some extra detail as well. So hopefully the idea is that when we flip over the countertops and are polishing the surface, the quartz crystals will show through and we'll get a little bit of sparkle from those. We haven't done it before, so we'll see how it turns out. It was kind of like a first time run for us to add these stone and leaf embellishments. What's this old relic?
My dad, they built their foundation when they were kids with this cement mixer. 2 feet thick wall, just with bags of cement.
Mm-hmm.
Steel, lasts forever. I have to replace the motor one day, but it's still working. Tried it last night. We used to put firecrackers in it. When we lived up on the hill, like over here. Oh, maybe we should try that later. Put the firecrackers in, we just echo like the whole valley.
Oh my God.
It's pretty cool. We put like a whole pack in there. They go boom, 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 boom.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun.
Surprised that belt's still holding up.
I know. That's probably been changed.
It's pretty rocky. Here we go.
Got my sander. Shoot.
So once you start working with concrete, when it's all liquid form, you kind of get in that speed mode where you want to kind of get your job done fast. So Brian's powering through. But the idea is you're supposed to fill your forms about halfway full with the concrete, because then you want to put your support screen in for the countertops. So Brian's, filling it up here, and then he's realizing in a minute that he is a little bit more than halfway full, and by the time he goes to spread it out, he's probably not going to be able to get his screen in to the concrete. This concrete is really rocky, so is really, really not very much moisture in it, and so it was hard to sink anything into it. It was just wanted to lay on top. So sort of foregoed the screen reinforcement in this countertop piece, but probably still going to be okay. But that's what we're supposed to do, is put the screen in before it gets too full of concrete. We realized that Brian didn't have a sander. He uses a palm sander because of its vibration, and he uses that as an inexpensive vibrating tool rather than renting a concrete vibrator. And anyway, he had to make a run for it and come back with it. So this helps the concrete settle. It helps the air bubbles come out. Really, we just want the air bubbles to be away from the surface of the countertop. So we don't have to vibrate it forever. We're just trying to get the bubbles on the bottom to come up to the top. Even if there's some bubbles on the top still, that's fine, because at the top of this piece is going to end up being the bottom of the counter. What's the top of the counter is what's lying against the melamine form on the inside. So he's going around the edge with the sander, and then it's more effective, he realizes, if he goes underneath the form itself. So he turns the sander and kind of shoves it underneath the form, and then that's when you're getting, so you can see how the concrete's sort of moving its way down, and some of the liquid's coming to the top, and the stones are kind of settling to the bottom. But one problem erupts when the sander itself actually bangs against the floor, and somehow that either disrupts the switch, or it actually breaks the motor, but suddenly he can't use it anymore. As soon as he starts vibrating against the edge, the sander wants to shut down, and he can't figure out what the heck's going on. So it's basically he breaks the palm sander, can't use it for vibrating the cement anymore. So it's like, okay, now we're in the middle of this and we got a broken sander. So he runs out to the shed to find our other palm sander, but unfortunately that sander is an oscillating sander. It doesn't quite do the same back and forth vibration, so that one doesn't really work as well either. So here we are in the middle of our concrete pour with sanders that don't work, no vibrational tool, but concrete half poured. And so Brian decides he's got to run to the store and buy another palm sander so he can actually do this job right, because he's already sacrificed on not getting the screen in like he wanted to. He tries again to get the screen down, but the rockiness of the concrete just won't allow it to sink in, so we're just going to have to skip it on this piece. But he had cut them ahead of time, and just not going to work out. Plus the metal itself, the screen was so bent, it just wanted to stick up in a bunch of areas, so it just wasn't going to work out on this one, guys. So as he finishes spreading this concrete out into the form, he realizes it probably needs a little bit more to sort of finish it up to the top of the form. So it needs a little bit more added. So round 2, as we prepare for the next 2 forms, he's going to put a little bit more into this one and then trowel finish it on the surface as well. Here Brian's got the new sander, this handy dandy little detail sander that has great vibrational quality, so it's working really, really well. And it's getting a nice smooth surface on the top. He's still going to trowel that at the very end, but after adding in the last 2 shovelfuls of concrete and then spreading it, he's just kind of getting rid of the bubbles there. And then when he goes over to the other form, he already about half filled the sink form. And you can see how it's really dramatic how it kind of drops the cement and spreads it. So you kind of get a close look there of just all that cement spreading out. So pretty effective. It's a great little tool. And if you've got one to spare or you don't mind using yours or having one for that purpose, it's a great little way to vibrate some cement if you're going to be pouring cement, trying something out like this. If you're going to be doing this on a regular, you might want to invest in your own specialty concrete vibrator, because this is not what a palm sander is designed for. And anyone will tell you that. So, are you putting the wire in?
Yeah. Let's fill this spot right here.
So the idea is to get it about a little more than half full before putting in the support wire. This is just regular concrete wire.
Yes.
A little floppy, but...
It stays in there.
Last one right there. The last one. Do you want to clip those wires that are sticking out?
We can clip them afterwards.
Okay.
That'd be easy enough to. Because I had some sticking off last time.
Okay. I'll just... That was sort of like the action sequence of putting together these countertops. It's, you know, everything goes really fast with the cement, and it's like suddenly you're caught with your pants down if you don't have everything you need, or if something breaks.
Exactly. Luckily, the store is only 10 minutes away. So.
Yeah. So the store is not too far away. We have to go and resupply. We can do that. But it definitely makes you anxious when you're working with cement, when you're actively pouring it. And then when the weather changes on you and you're not sure if you're going to get hailed on or poured on when you're mixing up your cement, it makes you work really fast.
Yeah, there's some timing issues with doing the countertops because you're trying to get air bubbles out of it. So you want your cement to be fluid, and so that when you're vibrating it, the air bubbles will at least rise up as much as possible. Because you don't want them at the surface. Although you will see when we demold it, there will be some bubbles there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of unavoidable.
Yeah, I think it'll be, the next video is going to be really fun just to see how it comes out. And, you can't vibrate every last bubble out, so you're going to have some irregularities in it. And we're also going to do an epoxy coating over the top of the cement, so that's going to solve a lot of texture issues on the surface.
Right.
So that's something we did not do last time when we made our concrete countertops in our last home. So
yeah, they actually make an acrylic like paste you mix up with water, and then you squeegee it into the holes, the air bubble holes. So it does a really good job filling them. And then when you polish it with the diamond polishing pads, it comes out real good. So
that'll be fun. That's probably the fun part. The first video, all the prepping of the forms, is the labor-intensive part. This video is like the action sequence, but it's it kind of the more exciting one because it's all happening, and then we're just waiting a few days for everything to set up, and then the reveal, that'll be the next video, and the treatments and all of that, and that's what's the fun artistic part.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, we did some really cool inlays, and I think with some staining specifically of those inlays, I think it'll look really nice.
So anyway, we got our siding, guys. We'll kind of keep you updated on how that goes. Brian's getting some test pieces ready. He's going to start playing with the saw and some of the particular styles of wood that he got to see how it's looking. But that's definitely coming up, probably next weekend's project getting started.
Start this week.
So summer has hit, even though I'm wearing a jacket right now, but we actually had some decent temperatures. The sun's out, but I think it's just the El Nino year, folks. It's raining every single day. So who knew Colorado was a rainy state, but I think the entire country's getting rain this year, so us included.
You can see that we barely have leaves starting on our trees.
Yeah, the trees are like, we're not sure we want to commit, because
They've got to be at least 3 weeks late.
I think everything is almost a month behind, because I was keeping track in a notebook last year of when things were blooming, and I'm pretty sure that I had stuff first week of May, and it's the first week of June. So anyway, well, thanks guys for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the action of the concrete pour, and we will keep you updated on how the progress goes with the countertops. We're almost there.
Bye-bye.
Bye. What the hell? Are you 12?
Going on 13.
Make Vigo bark.
Oh, is that loud? You want me to get that ball? Hey!
Multi-purpose. My ears aren't going to be the same.